Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I have got two cards to share with you that I have created using the Spellbinders June Glimmer set of the month. This is called Ascending Waves. So I'm starting off here with a panel of Nina Desert Storm, and I've gone ahead and embossed that using the 3D folder called Scattered Shells. Here I'm grabbing some Hero Arts Unicorn Pigment ink and one of my blender brushes, and I'm just adding a little bit of white over top of this very lightly to allow my shells to stand out from the background. So I sped this up quite a bit. Anytime you're doing any type of ink blending like this, it does take quite some time until you get the look that you want. But I have left this in here for you so you can see how I get to the finished results. Just sped this up to about 400%, I think. Alright, now onto our card. I have trimmed this down to a slimline panel. This is 3.5 by 8.5 inches, and here I've got some of my foiled cardstock. What I'm using today is from my favorite things. There's After Midnight and Blueberry. From Paper Tray Ink, Blueberry Sky, and then I'm also using some of the Stamp Market Vellum. I am using the foil that was included in with the kit, and I believe this is called Sunbright foil. So I'm just going ahead here, laying everything out. And now I'm going to carefully add some art glitter glue behind all of my pieces to keep them in place. I wanted to give the look of lots of waves there, but not have it take over too much of the card. So I ended up going with about 2/3 is my sand color, and then the last third, the bottom third, is my waves. I am strategically adding my art glitter glue there where I know my sentiment strip is going to go across on that vellum. It will, this glue does dry clear, but you are able to see it a little bit underneath the vellum, so I try to be really careful with where I place that. Now I'm going to add some art glitter glue to my panel, and I will press this into place. I'm going to add a little bit more under my darkest waves there, just to make sure everything's down nice and tight. And then I'll go ahead and trim off my excess. I decided I wanted to pop up my sentiment, so I'm going to add in some Scotch double-sided tape here. And this fit exactly 3 of these. I'll peel away the backing. And just making sure I have this in the spot that I want it in. I'll go ahead and press that into place. And then of course I will trim off the excess. I've gone ahead and made a card base out of that matching Nina Desert Storm. Here I'll add some art glitter glue behind my panel. And I'll add that to the top of my card base. When I do this, I always make sure to line up one of the edges with my folded edge of my card base, and then the other with either the top or the bottom. And that way, if I need to trim anything, it's very easy to do so. I've got some Nina paper to put on the inside here. I decided to leave that blank with no sentiment. And that will complete card number 1. For card number 2, I'm going to be working right on the card base here. I'm again using the same multiple colors of blue cardstock. I did add in from Paper Tray Ink Dark Indigo. That is the darkest blue you see there. And then for my card base, I am using Snow Cone from MFT. I'm going to start out by adding my sentiment down. And I'm going to press that into place lightly. The reason for that is this first little strip of waves here, I'm going to tuck that top portion behind so that you can see my sentiment. And I also position this so that that curl of that wave is pointing up to the sentiment. So it's going to draw your eyes there. I'll add some art glitter glue behind that. And then I'll continue layering my waves. And as I do that, I stagger them in a diagonal moving upward. That way I don't have any of the same waves overlapping each other or lining, straight up on the card. I decided to keep that little bit of a border on the edge of this wave here. I wanted to match the plain, or I guess unfoiled side that I had on the opposite, and I thought that worked really well. For my vellum, I'm going to make sure this is down nice and tight, but I didn't want this to capture anything, so I'm just adding a few very, very tiny dots of blue underneath there. And then I'll go ahead and trim off the excess. I have again grabbed some Nina paper. I'm going to add that on the inside of my card base using some ATG, and I will again leave that blank. Lots of room for my thank you note. And that will complete card number 2. Here are a few close-ups of the finished cards. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I've used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.